I bought these 2 Morgan dollars off a 3rd grader. Stick around and hear the rest of the story. So we're a channel that features coins and the stories behind them. So if you like seeing coins, please subscribe. So before I tell you how I got these coins, let me just show you what I actually have. So I have 2 Morgan silver dollars. One is 1888. They're both in pretty nice condition. This one is a Philadelphia mint. There's no mint mark. And this other one is 1889. 1889. And there's an O mint mark. O is for New Orleans. So the detail on both of them are pretty good. You can see Liberty there, and this one you can also see Liberty. So I think, I'm not a grader, I wouldn't know extra fine, very fine. I like the patina, and they're nice coins. So the story behind the coins is that they're part of my personal collection. As a child, I would go through my mom's change jar and add things to my Whitman books, pennies, nickels, dimes. So what happened is that as a 3rd grader, myself and some of my other friends, including one of my best friends, we all collected coins, and we would come into school and just on our breaks or whatever, we would show each other our coins. It's a really small town. We all played Little League together, and it didn't matter if your parent was a teacher or worked at the bookbinding company or owned a fence company or something else, whether someone learned their multiplication tables faster than another kid. We're all in the same class. And so one day, this child, one of my classmates, said that he would sell his Morgan dollars to me. And I thought to myself, well, if he's selling, I'm buying. And so I didn't trade him chocolate chip cookies for it. I think because I had books, I probably had a reference book even in 3rd grade. So I believe I gave him some level of fair market value, and I bought the coins off of him. I bought them off a 3rd grader, but yet I was in 3rd grade myself. Those were some great times back then. And little did I know that things were about to change. So this is what happened next. So this is what happened next. And this was possibly the worst period of my life, because what this isn't just a pile of silver, this actually represents what happened after elementary school. This is junior high. What happened is that we went from a little town of like 20 kids, and we got thrown into a 400 per class sized regional junior high. And so not only did you have to meet new people, so it was a hard time, enter a world where kids from other towns who set the tone for the school of what was considered popular, because they either had an alligator on their shirt or they played a certain sport or something like that. So I went from a situation where we all played Little League together to a much bigger world where that got much more segmented. And so the other hard thing to accept is that some of these kids fit in great with some of these kids. And so some of the kids that I shared experiences with in elementary school really fit in better with those kids. And so it took a long time for me to sort of find myself in this world. Which brings us back to this story. So do I have any regrets about buying these off one of my classmates, buying them off a 3rd grader? Well, I think I paid fair market value. I don't know what he did with the money. It's probably wishful thinking to think that he went out and bought baseball cards with it, and he's sitting on a Fred Lynn rookie card, which could be worth more than these. That's probably wishful thinking. And you could justify it by thinking, well, you know, kids trade baseball cards and they trade comic books and stuff. But I'm so nostalgic about my grandmother's silver dollar, that I regret that this child, as he grew up, had already given away something before he realized that he would be nostalgic about it. So I regret that. And so, but the biggest regret is that after seeing this other world, which was hard to adapt to, I look back at this time as a great time. But what if it wasn't for that kid? What if he thought that he wasn't really like the other kids, and he was actually just trying to gain entry into our group? So instead of just having a common interest, we played baseball together. We had coins. He had coins. We had a common interest. But what if he thought that he could gain entry to it by selling us, by not buying entry? So he wasn't trying to buy entry into our circle. He was actually selling entry into our circle. So that's the biggest regret, is that perhaps this boy thought that the way to gain entry into our circle was to give us something. What does my adult self think of that? I think I'll keep them, but a little bit wiser for the experience. Well, that's the news from Lake Wobegon. But wait, there's one more thing. So we're a channel that shows you coins and the stories behind them. The story behind this coin is that I got this at the supermarket tonight as change, and it's a 1910. So we do coin roll hunting videos of half dollars and pennies. I also feature some nostalgic stories about my old childhood coin collection and some recent silver purchases and more. So please subscribe if you want to see more coins, hear the stories, and join our journey as we find more. You can also see more coins right now by clicking on one of our featured videos.